Condemning the US government for its dangerous and aggressive blockade of North Vietnam, and then condemning Australian government for support of this.
By looking at one of the pamphlets that's been put out here, a talk of a different nature than one I've very roughly prepared was probably necessary to acquaint some people with some of the facts that I thought most university students would have known by now. 8 o'clock tonight, before the US mines encircling North Vietnam become armed. At 8 o'clock, we have the possibility of American mines sinking a Russian ship. America committing an act of war against the Soviet Union. This is international law. If you sink someone else's ship, you've committed an act of war. You're going to have to be very smart to figure that out. And the possibility of this becoming the beginning of World War III. The US is in effect saying that it wants the right to supply military aid, but won't allow the Soviet Union that right. The war in Vietnam would have been over in 1965 without military aid, with the NLF, the Viet Cong, winning without any military aid, relying mainly, and you can refer to White House documents themselves for those that wrote that pamphlet there, the documentation from the Pentagon itself will back that up. That's up to 1965 when the NLF was about to sweep to victory, as the combined forces of the North Vietnamese and NLF are about to do now, about to sweep to victory in 1965 without any military aid, except for the US weapons which they captured, so I suppose they're doing it on US military aid. In 1965, when the Americans invaded, they would have defeated the NLF. They invaded with 500,000 troops, backed up by the air power and so on, and the NLF equipped only with a small number of US arms which they captured, and French weapons were no match. He should have done it a long time ago. Inferring, and you question the person that says that, and the person will say, well, you know, that the Americans have been mucking around. It's about time that they got down and really meant business. Meant business. Means business. I think we should take what action we can to try and do our best to stop this act.
And this is aggression in South Vietnam. And so surely, you know, if Russia answers to their blowing up of a ship, then it's only an answering an answer.
I've been there and I've seen the people there who are involved also. So it's not just the communists, it's not just the Americans. It's the South Vietnamese people. And for the man down the back who said there's one Vietnam, sir, do you believe in international justice and international law? What about the Geneva Convention of 54? Do we just drop do we just drop all international justice and all international law, or do we recognise it? Do we depend on that as a basis for some sort of freedom in the world, some sort of progress? We've got to face the fact that there's no point taking sides. We've got to get to the stage where we condemn all aggression, because in condemning one side and leaving the other side uncondemned, we in fact leave the position open where there is aggression being condoned by our own activities here, if we do anything other than condemn all aggression.
You know, it's rather typical of the Students' Association, or some of them, that they invite Dr. Moore to speak. Where's somebody giving it a contrary point of view? I don't see anybody invited to speak, and I get a little bit sick of this. I get a little bit sick of people condemning the United States. But what about the aggressors? What about Russia? Sure, the USSR might have some ships in North Vietnam. What are they doing there? Aren't they aggressors just as much as the United States? I understand I've only got 2 minutes, so I shall be rather brief. But I think the motion that the other group have put forward has at least some sort of sense in it. I think that the other idea, vigil for 45 hours, whatever it is, how useless. What's that going to achieve? That a bunch of students from Newcastle that have a rather strange way of putting at things when they give one point of view but never let the other side be heard. Well, what good's that going to achieve? Come on, Dr. Moore, but where's somebody been invited from another organisation? I'm not saying that the United States doesn't need condemning, but I am saying that it's about time that every side was heard. Dr. Moore gave such a slanted, biased point of view that I think that so many of us should have walked out.
And that we condemn the Australian government for its support of this policy. Okay, all those for. Oh, right, thank you. All those against? To call upon the Australian government to withdraw all support from the Nixon policy. All those in favour? Against?